The way I started off 2025 was so bad, I didn't know where my life was going.
How are you mentally dealing with it, and how do you pull out coming into 2026?
I was going through a battle with my property, some of my dad's properties with his estate, association. I fired 2 other lawyers because they weren't doing anything. So I took matters into my own hands and I started doing my own processing. They're telling me, oh girl, you out your mind. You're not gonna get it done. If you didn't get it done.
Is there anything that you regret in that process?
I regret pretty much not doing everything slowly. Me, because I had the money, I just rushed into it. I'm like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And as soon as I did everything, boom, everything just crashed right in my face. And I just had to wake up like, yo, Marie, you don't have nobody but yourself, baby. You gotta get it together.
Hey guys, we realize a lot of you are coming to the page and enjoying the content, but we see a lot of you still aren't subscribed. And so if you could click that subscribe button, it'll help our channel grow and give you more episodes with a lot of amazing individuals. Welcome back to another episode of season 4, Story Time. Listen, where we're going to go deep into stories with guests, new guests, prior guests, all guests, but we're covering things that they've never spoke about before. And so you can see the real side of not only life, but business too. And so we've got back on the show. We have Mimi in the building. And listen, she got a story to tell.
Definitely have a story to tell. Thank you, Rich, for inviting me back on the show. It's a pleasure, definitely.
Absolutely.
Because I definitely have a lot to tell, especially when it comes to business, growth, development, and just helping everybody move forward when it comes to progress and not worrying about what everybody else is saying, pretty much.
Okay, so how I want to do this, I want to do kind of like a blitz version of this, right?
Okay.
And so with a blitz version of this, I want you to think about things centered around certain keywords that I say.
Okay.
Right. And it can be a couple things. And don't be afraid to let's take it there. You know, go into these stories, like let people know how this is actually real. Like this is life and this is what it looks like, because you don't look like what you've been through at all.
Yeah. Okay.
And we want people to know that we done been through it too.
Yeah.
And so first word, betrayal.
Betrayal. Yeah. Okay. Okay. First things first, betrayal. So that's what you're asking me a question about, betrayal. So when it comes to betrayal, I could start off with betrayal on so many different levels, but let me start off with my childhood betrayal. I grew up with, like pretty much a good set of friends or whatever, but the friends that I did grow up with, they're, of influence and they're popular. But truthfully, when I was doing business and growing and stuff like that, even though I developed a little quicker than them, even when they did have the time to support me, they didn't. So pretty much it was like, all right, at first I thought I was too much, that my friends then they weren't in a position to help me. But when they did get in a position to help me, they didn't even want to help me. Yeah. So that pretty much tells you that they never really wanted to do it for you at all. But then again, when it's time, when they need something, they need help with something or et cetera, you're the first one that they call. And that goes for family as well, too. So most of the time they're going to need help, but they're going to call you for help. Mm. But you're always able to help them. But when it comes to you, it's something different.
Facts. Now, what you saying, the two differences between the two, you have friendship betrayal and you have family betrayal. Mm. To you, because I might have a different answer on this than you, but for me, friendship betrayals hit harder than family betrayals.
It definitely does. It definitely does. Friendship betrayal hits harder because they pretty much know the struggle that you go through outside your family. And a lot of times, like they say, the family that, we born with the family that we have, but the family that we make outside, I feel like, we really hold them deep in our hearts. Mm-hmm. So most of the friends that I really made in the streets, I pretty much didn't keep. But because it's like they say, people come into your life for a season, a reason, or for life. Mm-hmm. So it's always a reason why they come into your life. But of course, being emotional, being a woman, we always going to think these friends are going to be here forever, but they're never really not. When you're growing and, especially when you're growing faster than them, or sometimes you could be a bit intimidating to them, they're never really going to support you. But they'll support everybody else that's doing something. They'll even, and the wild thing is that Sometimes they'll repost celebrities they don't even know, but they know you're in business, but they won't repost you at all, which, social media is not a big deal.
Yeah.
But still, you worried about what I'm doing. I don't support you. I don't do this. I don't do that. How long I've been in business? How much money you put on my table? How much food you put on my table? Let's talk about that. How many times you sent one customer to me to say, here, I'm sending business to you? Never. Hey guys, it's Mimi. Just to remind you guys, it's your foreclosure specialist here. I do offer foreclosure services. What I mean by that, I mean by loan modifications, deed in lieu, short sales, short negotiated payoffs. As well, too, even if you have issues with as far as like loan garnishments, if somebody is trying to garnish your wages, I could definitely help you out. Don't be scared. Don't be so quick to call an attorney because attorney is going to hit you over the head. Just call Marie and I'll be able to help you.
So for you, do you feel like you're that friend to other people, but other people just disregard you as far as like, you might show up, support, even if it's a share, a like, a comment, whatever, versus other people coming towards you, they don't even give you the same kind of reciprocation?
Oh, absolutely. I'm always the biggest cheerleader. Sometimes when they're not even my friends like that, I see people doing their thing on social media, or I see somebody that's hustling, definitely. I'm a girl's girl, and I'm always, when it comes to business, I stand on that. So when I see somebody that's doing something positive, I'm always going to support. But a lot of times people are not really there for you. Example, when I started doing the trucking business, I didn't have my own people to support me. I had to go all the way to Chicago. And then when I started doing it in Chicago, that's when I really got the help. And then these women held my hand through the whole process. So with that being said, the fact that they was able to hold my hand, I wasn't bitter. I'm like, okay, my people don't support me. They don't do this. They don't do that. I'm just going to keep the game to myself. Me and my heart, because at the end of the day, like we talk about, God uses us as a vessel.
Facts.
So pretty much I was just like, all right, let's do the school in Miami. This is when I'm talking to my Russians now. I'm like, let's do the school in Miami. So the fact that we brought the school in Miami, I was able to educate, everybody else that was interested, that really wanted to get the real education, that wanted to do their own business when it came to trucking. Because I know I had to go to Chicago for about a month and a half to learn the business.
So now there's a debatable statement online, kind of a quote, where it says, your friends aren't supposed to even support you. And why it says that is because they never met you as the business person you are today. They met you as whoever you used to be. And so in their eyes, they always see you as this individual versus the individual you might have become.
Well, like I said, people are in your life for a season, a reason, or for life. So when you reach to that point that you feel like you can't support me, we can't be friends. That's my opinion. I'm from Haiti. I'm Haitian, island born, okay? So I know my people do business in Haiti. And my uncle always told me, every friend that I have, we all grease each other's hand. Every friend that I have, we do business with each other and we break bread with each other. That's how we stay in business. So if we're not breaking bread, we're not helping each other, we're not putting food on each other's table, what are we friends for?
I agree with that too. That statement, a lot of people will be like, oh, well, I couldn't get support from my friends, so I quit. Or I couldn't get support from my friends, so I, whatever, stopped or whatever. But for me, I feel like it's a healthy mix in between to where, I would like to support, but it depends on who the friend is. You can't come around me because I have gotten into it with somebody. Don't get me wrong. And he actually did get cut off for this kind of reason. I'm not sure if he even knows it was this kind of reason, but we hung out all the time. We chilled all the time. We vibed all the time. We spent money together all the time, but we never made money together. And it was always me going to whatever ventures he got going on, supporting him, showing up. But whenever I would throw an event or I have my stuff going on or whatever, he's too busy. And so it just felt one-sided to me, and I didn't even make a big deal about it. I didn't stop being friends, but I fell back.
Yeah, you just fell back, So pretty much you was just like, I'm not dealing with a selfless person. Yeah, so that's where I stand too. I'm not dealing with selfless people, and that goes for everybody, friends and family.
Okay, so now next keyword, struggle.
Oh, struggle. You want to talk about struggle? Oh my God. This year, I've been through struggle, But 2025 was so hard for me, it didn't even make any sense. The way I started off 2025 was so bad, I didn't know where my life was going. I didn't know exactly where my life was going, but I was being tested and I definitely made it. And then and then with the struggle, every friend that knew my situation used it against me. And I was so happy that they did that too, because like they say, God is always testing you. Yeah. So the fact that I'm sitting back, them thinking that, you're losing it and then, something is wrong with you, but you're really sitting back looking at them like, do you really know what you're doing right now? I'm sitting back I'm being tested, but you don't know. I'm testing you.
Yeah, you analyze.
Because I'm waiting for you to do this now. Like they say, trust me, never trust mankind.
Nah, facts. And so with you starting 2025, that, like that, with that whole feeling towards struggle, like, how are you mentally dealing with it and how do you pull out coming into 2026?
Oh my God. Well, pretty much I was going through a battle with my property, some of my dad's properties with his estate association. I trusted somebody to help me out. Everything was so bad. Oh my God, 2025 was so horrible for me. I didn't know how I was going to get out of it, but it wasn't. And then I said to myself for a fact, I said, I'm not going to let the year end like that. So what I did was I pretty much fired. I had 3 lawyers that I was paying at the time. I fired 1 lawyer at the beginning of the year. Then in the middle of the year, I fired 2 other lawyers because they weren't doing anything. So I took matters into my own hands and I started doing my own processing. I pretty much went to the judge's chambers and I started doing my own thing. And, and even with with struggle and stuff like that with friends and everything, they're telling me, oh, girl, you out your mind. You're not going to get it done. If you don't pay a lawyer, you're not going to get nowhere. Who didn't get it done? Okay. Who didn't get it done?
Who?
Even the lawyers tell me, they say, people don't even do that. So, yeah, that was pretty hard for me.
Okay. Now I'm going to go the opposite direction. Teamwork.
Like, do I mind working with people?
Well, it's whatever comes to mind. When you hear the word teamwork in your life, what kind of experience does that pull from you?
I don't mind doing teamwork. It's just that everybody not for the team. Every time you take time out of yourself to train somebody and to really mentor somebody, because I'm very big on mentorship. Most of the time when I mentor somebody and I take you up under my wing, a lot of times I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be better than me.
Facts.
So when it comes to that, it's like with the mentorship program, you give everybody that you got, like not everybody, you give the people that you're mentoring everything that you got, but they don't receive it the proper way. And like LeBron James said, like the best experience in life, the best teacher in life is experience.
Facts.
So you always got to base it all on experience and stuff. You could give them all the information. And then I feel like with my mentorship program, I give them so much. And I find people that don't have that much ambition and they just take advantage of it and they don't realize it until I'm no longer there.
And so do you feel like you've ever had a solid team as far as like business life goes?
Oh, no. I wish, especially with trucking. If I tell you what I went through with trucking.
Tell me about it.
Oh, my God. Trucking, when I even started, the school was perfect. When it came to doing the school, that was perfect. When it came to the business, OMG, when it came to the business, especially when you're a woman, a lot of women could vouch for this when, you're a freight broker and this is your truck. You have these guys that you hire to drive your truck. 1 minute he's driving for you for a week or two, and the next minute you can't find him the following week. He wants his money ASAP, and you have to tell him to wait for the money because in trucking, it takes at least 30 days for you to get paid.
Yeah.
But if you got it like that, of course you could pay the driver up front, just to make it easy for him. But when you do that, you end up messing things up. I had a situation, I had the guy driving for 2 weeks and I had work for the next 3 months. This guy had the nerve to come tell me that he's driving his truck now. So I guess he just needed some gas money for his truck to work my truck.
Wow.
And then he's not the only one. There's some drivers that they have situations, they leave your truck at the truck stop. Oh my God, I done been through it all.
Damn, leaving your truck at the truck stop, like you gotta go.
Go pick it up. Sometimes my truck done been towed. Oh my, the stuff that I've been through with trucking. But listen, when you stop learning, you stop living. It wasn't too bad of a situation because that taught me experience and that teaches me to not hire no drivers that's only been licensed under 5 years. And most of the time too, I'm not hating on any drivers, I gotta verify your information and make sure you've been driving. Cause and then I'm telling you, they will leave your truck stinking. They will.
Damn. I didn't think the trucking industry was that like cutthroat. Like you hear stories about like it being a tough industry for sure, especially with gas. Like I be hearing
gas
horror
is not
stories
an
about
issue.
gas.
I got access to gas cards and everything. When it comes to Boston Transportation, and that's the good news too, I want to tell you guys. The company that I work with, Boston Transportation, my business partners, they're still in Chicago and then they're in Texas as well too. So, but the main office is in Chicago. We partnered up with truckstop.com. Truckstop.com gives most of the loads for the pretty much if you have a Sprinter and you have a box truck. So most of the loads is always on there. If you have like, of course, the 18-wheeler, we have things on there as well too. But truckstop.com is good for people that mostly have box trucks. So a lot of minorities, they tend to go to truckstop.com. So we merged with them.
Oh, that's fire. Okay, and so now with you having this kind of website and you partner with them, would they be considered a good team for you?
Oh, yeah. With truckstop.com is mostly logistics. My team is a great team. I'm not worried about my team. Boston Transportation is my team. Truckstop.com is more affiliates because, we're providing the education for the drivers that need the education.
Got it.
But they're still a low bore. And the people that come from our school get a special rate and a discount because of our membership. So that's really what we have to offer for them.
So now next keyword, loss.
Oh my God, lost. I lost so when I started my trucking business. Not real estate. Trucking was great. Really, when COVID hit, that's when everything started popping. Everything was so amazing. And before that, we were still making money as well too. My loss. I closed on 2 properties. I closed on a property late 2020 and I closed on another property early 2021.
Wow.
Right after that, I opened up a school. And then right after that, I took over my dad's truck and I bought 2 other trucks.
Oh, wow.
So pretty much I was doing everything. My head was all over the place. Not only was I teaching classes, I was also running my trucks as well too and having to deal with drivers with that right there. So you want to talk about loss? Just because my head was on, if I would have did it the right way, if I would have just sat down because, all the resources were there for me. If I did have all the resources to like the resources were there for me to get the education to do it. That's why it was so easy for me to put everything together. But I should have sat down and really worked on my businesses.
Okay. So now from that perspective, is there anything that you regret in that process?
Yes, I regret pretty much not doing everything slowly. I rushed into everything because I had the money to do it. At the time, I was like, okay, if you're not going to do anything if you don't take risks. Granted, I'm not telling anybody not to take risks, but be prepared on what you're doing. Think about it and then make sure you do your balance sheets. And it has to make sense. If the math ain't math, then don't do it. Me, because I had the money, I just rushed into it. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And as soon as I did everything, boom, everything just crashed right in my face. So pretty much I had to pick everything back up. And that's how 2025 was so shoosh for me.
Okay, so now on the opposite side of lost, recovery.
Oh, recovery. Your girl got herself back up, as you can see, honey. Okay. So as far as recovery, I negotiated pretty much everything. I still own 1 truck right now as we speak. I still own 1 truck. And I have a legitimate driver. He's been driving for over 20 years. Thank you, Mr. Samuel, by the way. So yes, he's been driving for over 20 years. And he's been my driver for over 5 years.
Fire. Wow.
Yes.
And so now I want you to help people understand what that recovery process looks like, because yes, the word itself is recovery, but like you're fighting mental challenges along that way. You're fighting financial challenges along that way. You're fighting emotional challenges along that way. You might even be fighting physical challenges along that way. And so what really got you to the point where you start to pull yourself back together? What did you have to go through in order to grow through it?
I had to, what made me put myself back together, everybody turned their back on me. Everybody that I supported and everybody that I gave my love to gave me crap. Pretty much gave me crap. And I just had to wake up like, yo, Marie, you don't have nobody but yourself, baby. You got to get it together. It's just you. So I like they say, What don't kill you make you stronger. If I did
Facts.
not go through it, I would have never been able to pick up through the struggle. And like I said, I was being tested.
Yeah.
And I needed that struggle because when you come out that fire, you're going to be like, oh, yes, baby, I did that. For sure.
It's going to hit a little different. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, what are you feeling, after the betrayal, after all of that? But now you have this self-help thought where it's like, man, I'm, even if everybody leave me, I'm not finna stop. I'm going to go and I'm going to be the best version of me. What helps you get through hard times?
What helps me get through hard times, I manifest on God's word. I go to the gym and I keep myself positive too. Because the biggest fight is in your mind. Remember that, folks. If you don't mentally do it for yourself, no one is going to do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. And people might call you crazy when you start talking to yourself. Because sometimes, we wake up in the morning, we'll be like, oh no, let me go back to sleep. Oh, let me do this. Oh, I don't have to do this today. No, get your ass up and go do it. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because this is why you woke up. You're going to waste a day. You're going to have to think. Just like I always give an example. Like I was talking to one of my people that I'm, one of the girls that I'm mentoring right now. Mm-hmm. She's like, okay, you work for yourself. Why you have to wake up so early? Why you have to wake up at 5 a.m.? I said, because this is my daily routine. Mm-hmm. I said, you work I said, right now you have a 9 to 5. You work customer service, correct? Mm-hmm. She was like, yeah, I work customer service. I said, even when you work independently, you got to work your job as if you work in a 9 to 5.
100%.
The same way that you get up for them people, you have to get up for yourself as well. So if you're not giving, you have to give your job 200%, if
Facts.
Anything. So if you're not doing that, you're never going to succeed.
Yeah, you have to, and I try to tell people the difference between this all the time is like, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong with, having a standard job, but the outcome is different because you might be there 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, whether you leave voluntarily or involuntarily, it's not yours. It's not going with you.
It's not going with you.
And so working there, of course, is a means to an end, but what's your plan? And that takes me into the next word, plan.
It's most of the time it is what's your plan. So that's why you give I feel like you give your all to your business, and most of the time the business always pays itself off. Mm-hmm. Because I'm experienced, most of the jobs that I do get, like I always get professional jobs that usually pays over $80,000 to $90,000 a year, good money. But I never made as much money as when I was working for myself.
Yeah, once you get a taste of that,
that's it.
That's it.
That's it. I made the most money I ever made. Even when I was doing my taxes, my accountant, when she was doing itemized deductions, she was like, oh my God, I can't go no lower. I was like, but what happened to all that money? She was like, Marie, look at you. I was like, okay.
Marie, look at you. Okay. They didn't even try to argue it. Hey, that's how it is sometimes for real. And so, that makes me think of the word choice.
Choice, yeah.
When we think of choices, were there ever choices in your life that you feel weren't made from you?
Yeah, I did have a few choices that wasn't made from me, but I used that to better myself because the fact that I didn't have a choice at the time, I made sure the time that I did have a choice, I took it all the way. So when it's my turn, best believe you're going to know it's my turn.
Nah, fact. I like that. That's powerful. And, I feel like with you have a stronger, persevering kind of personality, but there are a lot of women out there that, also deal with imposter syndrome. And so that imposter syndrome kind of factor, like, what would you say to women like that?
The imposters, like the fake people?
No. So imposter syndrome is like, you're perfectly great. You can do whatever you put your mind to, but they don't believe that for themselves.
Yeah. With those women or men, you gotta pray about it and you gotta work on it for yourself. Because I had that after a while too. But if it wasn't the good people that I had around me that motivated me to go out and do it, and then the energy too, like the energy that I had in me, your relationship with God. That's how I was able to do it. So, with these women, it's kind of hard because you cannot give somebody motivation. You got to have it in you because I didn't have people that I mentored. Even if I preach it to you every morning and I tell you what you're supposed to do and I, write it down for you and I give you this and I give you that. You have to, it's you. You have to do that for yourself. I can't do it for you.
Facts. Facts. It turns into that. And so that leads me to, the last word, which would be survival. When we talk about survival, is it okay to think about life in the term of I'm just here to survive? Or, how do you think about life, and how does that affect your action?
I'm not even here to survive. I'm here to live.
Mm.
You crazy? Just survive? No, baby. I'm here to live. I'm here to take everything that God put in this world, everything that He has to give and offer, receive it, believe it, and do all that. You crazy?
Talk to him.
No, just survive? No, baby. That's already done. I'm surviving, okay? Especially if we made it up. Look how long we made it in Miami.
True.
All right. So,
Miami is not for the weak.
Miami is not for, okay?
Miami is not for the
Why
weak.
they say Miami money is a major issue. Mm-hmm. That's what Miami stands for. So if you ain't got it, don't come over here.
Sheesh. Nah, man. Marie, every time you come back, just giving even the subtlest of gems, letting us know, where you used to be is not where you are today. That resilience, that perseverance, if you had to say one last thing to, the audience about just a keep going moment, what would that be?
Well, as far as keep going,
Hey guys, this is Lisa from Just Lisa's Property and Capital Investment. If you have an EIN number or an LLC and it's not structured accordingly so you can position yourself or your business to be able to get capital, DM me. Let me help you structure your business accordingly so you can get to the bag. See you in the inside.
Move forward. You know what you want to do. Always put it in. I can't even say vision board because some people do vision boards and never really pay attention to it.
This is true.
Yeah, you gotta pretty much want to do it, manifest on it. Like I said, pray to God about it, and I don't know. You gotta work on it every day. I can't give that to you. I can teach you on what you want to do. If you need help with real estate, you need help with trucking, et cetera, I can teach you, but you got to want it in your heart. Cause I didn't teach a few little young girls and they didn't really do much with things, but I had some girls that accelerated and went off the chain with it.
That is how it is. It's a choice. It's a decision.
Yeah, it's all of that. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Rich. It's pretty much it's all your choice. You got to really want to do it for yourself. If you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it. So if you want to do it, you definitely going to get it done.
No, that's the truth. And y'all heard it here first. Listen, if people wanted to find out more about you, work with you on whatever you have going on, where could they find you at?
You can find me on my Instagram, and also too, you can find me on my website, stgermainlogistics.com. My Instagram is I am the real estate queen. And also too, St. Germain Logistics has that's the trucking, but I am the real estate queen. That's how you could find me.
There it is. Listen, this is another amazing episode of Attractive Mindset. And if you like this, if you can resonate with this, or somebody that needs to understand that real people in real time deal with real things too, make sure you like, share, subscribe. And it's your host, Moneybag Rich. And at the end of the day, we always say we look good, we live good, life is good. Talk to us, we talk back, and we out.
Out.